Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Droid Live Show episode 6-2 tonight. I'm your host, Kellen. With me, Tim, Ron, Eric. Everybody say hi.
Hey guys, how's it going? Tim here, back once again.
Hey, this is Ron. You can't get rid of me.
Here.
Yes, welcome back, Tim.
We had a nice quiet show last week while you were gone.
It's
We all
great.
just sat down.
I caught the first few minutes of it.
We had a long show, actually, last week. One of the longest in a
Yeah,
while.
it was
Just
long.
kept going and going and going.
And I still said goodbye to you, Tim. I don't know. Did you hear that through the ether?
I did not.
Thought for sure.
Sorry, bro.
He did, though. He was holding you down. All right, so on tonight's show, we've got a few things going on. Most notably, Tim has a G3 in hand, in pocket, if it fits. He has one, and he's going to talk about it a lot. So we're going to have questions. Well, we're going to ask him questions or something like that. Should be fun, though. But before we get into that, we want to remind everyone that we're giving away 10 tickets to Lookout's Google I/O party. And you can join that or sign up, I guess. Enter to win a ticket. Up until Friday, we're going to choose winners. And you get to bring a date or a friend or whatever. So we're kind of giving away 20 tickets if you look at it that way. And we will be there. Maybe 3 of the 4 of us. Yeah, me, Tim, and Eric probably. We'll probably all be there. So, yeah, if you want to come hang out, they always put on a good show. They give away freebies to the first, I think, couple hundred people that show up. They got drinks, food, music. It's usually a good time. So
We'll be
it's
boozing.
Tuesday night. Yeah, it should be fun. So yeah, after that though, we're going to talk. Let's talk G3. Then we'll maybe talk a little bit about I/O. There's Galaxy Note 4 specs in the wild. We've got some. We're running a bunch of polls this week because we've got a bunch of stuff we haven't asked you guys in a while. So we'll run through some of those, do a Q&A, talk apps and games, and yeah. So Tim, you have this LG G3, and
Yes.
you've written about it already. Yeah, you did a Q&A on it. You've written about 5 big features.
I've been trying to talk a lot about it because people are very interested in this phone, except every time I talk about it, someone's like, okay, Tim, we get it. You've got the G3 before everybody else, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, hey, man, I'm just trying to do my job here. Don't be jelly. You know, are you gel? People are getting a little gel. So, but oh well.
Poor
That
me.
rhymes.
And everyone also says, okay, Tim, we get it. We still don't know when it's coming to carriers, though, so just shut up already. Yeah,
That's right.
that happens a lot, too. And, yeah, no, we still don't know when it's coming to U.S. carriers. Although,
100% not
Yeah.
confirmed.
yeah, EvLeaks today, right, said that Verizon pre-order may be opening up July 10th, and then the device arriving maybe within a week or something like that. So that's not that far away. What's the date today? The 11th? So yeah.
It's a month.
That's a month if you guys can hang out for a month longer.
That's not that, and there's a lot of stuff to keep you busy in that meantime. You know, Samsung's doing something, Google I/O is coming up. I mean, there's plenty of stuff to keep you occupied, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more Note 4, Moto X Plus 1, Hype Beast, and there's plenty of stuff to get through a month.
Yeah, so you guys can just hang out for one more month. It does seem like a really long time, right? When did they announce this thing? Has it already been about 3 weeks,
been
almost a month?
Yeah, 2.5 weeks, I think, 3 weeks.
And it's been available in Korea. Like, you can
Since
buy the
today,
phone
yeah.
in Korea. So, come on, LG. All right, so anyways, let's talk. Give us, like, your... Well, you already gave us those 5, fun features or whatever. Why don't you just talk
Yeah.
about 5 things about the phone, or a couple of things about the phone anyway that you really, really love?
Yeah, the general things that really come to mind, you know, I mean, right off the bat is the display. I mean, QHD, 5.5 inch, 2560 by 1440. Of course, we've talked about the display a few times. Because it's great, it's actually really cool. Now, with that being said, say, you know, if you have a Nexus 5 in your hand right next to the G3, you know, you really aren't going to notice, you know, like a holy crap, the G3 is so crystal clear and blah, blah, blah. I mean, really, your eye can't really see the difference too well. I mean, you have to really be, I mean, sure, you can get your eye right up on it and you won't see any pixels, and if that's what you want, then that's what you want, but to me, I guess the QHD isn't a necessity at this point in time, especially when there's practically no content to devour, you know, on a 2K or QHD display.
Yeah, we
So,
just got 720p on the YouTube app.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I can toggle through and stuff, and you know, everything looks like crap basically. But you know, there are certain things that look worse actually on a QHD display. I've noticed that, say, when I'm streaming a baseball game through the At-Bat app, those do stream in full HD, except when I feel like it's being stretched on the QHD display, and everything comes out looking less clear than it would on a 1080p device, say, for example, the Nexus 5 or the HTC M8. So, it has some downers, but everyone asks, like, what about live wallpaper apps or other applications? Do they stretch or do they look disfigured? And no, everything looks fine because,
It's
Android. Yeah, Android is fine, and it's not like if you put an iPad app or whatever on an iPhone or vice versa. I had the word, I just tweeted earlier, but it looks fine. Don't worry about it. And let's see, the camera. Oh man, the camera is awesome. I get inspired to take more photographs when I have a better camera. So say, for example, when I had the M8, I wasn't taking too many Instagram shots or sharing many photos because I just found that a lot of the pictures I was taking were crap. But now with the G3 or say the Galaxy S5, which also has a very good camera, you're inspired to get out there, take shots of dogs or nature or whatever you want. And so far the G3 has not let me down. I've been super impressed. I would usually, if I have like a new pair of shoes, forgive me, I'll take a picture with my Sony NEX6. But with the G3, I was like, I have the G3, I'll just take a picture of the shoes with this. It's going to come out just fine. And it totally did. So 13 megapixel OIS plus. It has a laser autofocus. I mean, it does have super good autofocus. And don't get it twisted. Like when you tap on the focus, it doesn't shoot out like a red beam, at the object you're shooting or anything. It's completely invisible.
Do not point your phone at airplanes, Tim.
Yeah, don't do that. What, Ron? Eric?
I was promised lasers. I want lasers coming out of the back of my phone.
Technically, it does have lasers. Maybe I don't know. Maybe a developer can tweak that or something. But
I got a question for you.
Yeah, please.
So for somebody that wants to get an Android phone with like the best camera, that's the most important thing to them. GS5 or G3?
That's a good question. Both. Because you're kind of getting the display experience as well with each device, and I think the Galaxy S5 display, it's a bit more saturated with color than the G3 is. It's a bit flatter, I would say, or kind of more neutral palette. So, say when you're taking a picture of a leaf, the picture of a leaf on the Galaxy S5 will look a lot more green than it would on the G3, just because the AMOLED display handles that a bit better. So I would say if you like taking pictures of nature, get a Galaxy S5. But say if you like taking pictures of like a cityscape or something like that, I would probably go for the G3. But I mean, both are fantastic. Both take really good detail, and they're both really good when you put them online or something. You want to retouch them, huge resolution files. So
what about in terms of just the shooting experience?
Shooting experience, I would probably go for the G3. With the G3, you can hide all of the kind of shortcuts and menu buttons that you have. I just call it like an immersive mode, and all you get is the viewfinder, what you're going to be taking a picture of, and you just tap to shoot instead of tap to focus like on the GS5.
It's like the Moto X, right?
Yeah, like the Moto X, except better. And
and how does that? Because I read that, and I was going to ask you, how does that work in terms of picking a focus point? Like, are you able on the Moto X to kind of drag it around, or is it something else?
No, I mean the autofocus is so fast. So right when you tap, it focuses very quickly on the subject where you tap.
Where you tap. Okay.
Yeah, where you tap, you'll see like the kind of bars or whatever come up, and then it just takes the picture instantaneously.
Cool.
Yeah, it is really cool, actually, Ron. You should try one out sometime.
All right, so how big is
Send it
this
over.
phone? Like, you've been using it now for about a week, I think. Is it just massive, or are you used to it, or did you not really? What were you using right before this, the One M8?
Before this, I was using the M8 and the Nexus 5, kind of vice versa.
Okay, so was it a shock to go to this, or does
Not
it
at
just
all.
feel fine?
Yeah, not at all. Say if you pick up a G2, or say if you're used to a G2 or Nexus 5 in hand, go into the 5.5 inch with very limited bezel on the front. I mean, it feels quite comfortable in the hand. It's very manageable with one hand. It's totally usable with one hand, which was a big thing for me. So I mean, after kind of leaving the Note cult, I'm over two-handed devices. So and the G3 is totally manageable. It goes right in and out of the pocket. So for being a 5.5-inch display, it has a very, it has a small body. Oh, okay, everyone's got the thick glasses going.
I feel like it's a glasses show now.
Where are you at,
Yeah.
Tim?
I got them somewhere. But yeah, so it's totally usable and it's manageable, which I was very surprised with. And that was with the first time we felt it when we were in San Francisco at LG's launch event. I think even Kellen might have been a little surprised. I know he needs to get his hand back on it. He did almost drop it, but that's because, you were doing a video and stuff.
That's right.
No one blamed you. It's not that the phone was too big. Yeah, and it's not very slippery. It's not a fingerprint magnet. The back is freaking awesome. Like the faux metallic or whatever. It's definitely plastic, removable back, but it looks great. It looks really nice.
Have you had to battery pull yet?
I have not. Okay, there are a couple problems because this is a Korean unit. I have had a few software jank issues. For example, when I am on 4G LTE and then I connect to my Wi-Fi, but then I leave my house, it won't reconnect to the LTE network. I have to reboot the phone. Even if I go into airplane mode or toggle data, I have to reboot the phone. Really hoping that is not an issue when the US models are released. I'm guessing it won't be. And let's see, there was some other jank. Whenever I turn on whenever I open up Google Play, it says that Google Apps support or whatever is not supported, or Google Play Services is not supported.
What, really?
Yeah. I don't know. It's janky.
That's also probably an international thing.
Exactly. Another international thing. And so whenever I turn on the phone, it says that G apps have force closed. But other than that, and it's fine. But once I press OK, it's force closed, and then it's fine. I've had the UI kind of freeze up on me once, but I was doing like some intense gaming. Just like Dose X or Dose Fall, whatever you guys do. I think yeah. We've argued about this before, but yeah, I was playing that game just because I wanted to try it out, and I went back to the home screen really quick, and I was like sliding up at the same time, and I think it was stuck between Google Now and something, so the wallpaper kept flickering, and I was like, oh crap. So I just long pressed it to turn it off. I haven't done a battery pull. So everyone I've been talking to, I've been telling them to get hyped about this phone because I really like it. I mean, this is probably my next. If I still had a contract and I wasn't doing Go Phone monthly plans, this would be the phone I bought for my personal self.
So like if you were going to relaunch a brand called This Is My Next, this would be the one that you would.
Oh, most definitely.
Put it on the video.
This is the best smartphone available. In Korea. So, yeah, the G3.
All right, so gaming performance is fine. A lot of people were worried about lag, right? Everyone said
Snapdragon 801.
PC Mag or somebody posted a video on that announcement day that they said it was laggy and everyone freaked out. Is it fine? I mean, is it laggy other than the like Korean janky apps that you've had to deal with? Otherwise, it's fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine. I haven't had any real lag issues in terms of multitasking, web browsing, gaming, anything like that. When you snap a picture, it's instant. When you go to the home screen, it's instant. I was seeing a few issues, on the launcher itself when you have a few widgets, when they have their stock widgets put on there. I mean, it's not a very... The thing is, it's kind of like on the Galaxy S5, when you swipe all the way to, when you swipe to the right, you get over to the far left, it has like that magazine UX or whatever they're calling it. It has one of those on here, except it's like for smart tips and talking about G Health or LG Health, whatever it is, the Samsung copy thing. Mm-hmm. And so it lagged a little bit, but once I threw on Nova, just because I had to throw on Nova, and when I do a review of this phone, or whenever we do a review of the phone, I'll talk about the basic launcher, but I had to put Nova on because their stock launcher is kind of unusable for me. So that was the only lag to really speak of. Other than that, I've been super impressed. Hey, that looks like beer.
Beer.
Is that Aldridge glass?
It is a Batum glass, actually.
Ah, Batum.
Just like the kitty.
Just like the kitty.
Yeah, I was about to say, it belongs to your cat.
It might be his glass, yes.
Yeah.
All right, so G3, sounds like you're pretty excited about this phone.
Yeah, I was, every time I get a phone, most example like the Galaxy S5, or the One M8, you know, I get really pumped right when it's announced, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be the tits, and it's got this and it's got that. But then all of a sudden I get it in my hand, and I'm like, I find something I don't like about it. You know, like the Galaxy S5 design sucks, or the MA is too tall, you know, or something like that. The G3 is the first phone where this is a Korean model, and I'm still in love with it since the day that I first saw it. So for me, that's saying something. I always find something wrong with the device, but there's like no bezels. It has a sweet dual tone, you know, cut in half, the black and white. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It looks really nice. Mm-hmm. So, yes. I just can't think of the word I'm trying to.
It looks pretty crazy. Just like I haven't seen it since we were at that launch event, and just when you hold it up in the screen is so. Well, it looks huge, but like you said, and like I remember holding it, it doesn't feel that big because it's all display. It's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's really it feels better in hand than the Galaxy S5. Feels better. Well, you know, the one I made so special because it's metal and it feels pretty good, but. The G3 is really good. So everyone who was stoked for the phone, I think, should still be stoked, because so far I haven't found anything that I really dislike about it. So there's that.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to launch Q&A later. So if you guys have G3 questions, you can toss those in there, and Tim will get to those too. So, you guys have any other thoughts on G3 before we move out of there? I'm excited for it. I almost bought a Korean one just so I could join Tim. Because I want.
See, I like that we have you guys, and then we have Ron and I to balance it out, because you guys are excited about it, but then Ron and I are like, we can't, you know, just throw expendable money down on these phones. So, I mean, it sounds like a good phone, but. You know.
Sorry, did Eric just call me poor?
Sounded like it.
Well, I mean,
exclusive.
Well, fine. I'm all alone over here.
Shots fired.
You know, it sounds like a good phone, but.
Why do you think Ron bought the iPhone 5C and not the 5S? Yeah, so it's a good phone. And no, I mean, I don't think buying a Korean model for $800 on eBay is necessarily worth it at this point. So just wait a month, and it'll come.
Yeah, and it'll be $199 on contract, or $599 without, or $29.72 on month to month, or whatever.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, quickly, Google I/O is 2 weeks from today, actually, which is kind of crazy. So Google I/O, we'll be there, as we are every year, doing the whole I/O thing. I think we're still kind of in the dark on what we might see. Obviously, lots of Android Wear stuff, I think. As far as a new version of Android, maybe. But I don't know that we're going to see... You know, the L version, whatever that may be, might just be another update, or maybe they just update all the apps. Wasn't it last year they kind of just updated all the apps? That's when we really started to see Google pull everything out of Android, basically. So maybe we'll get new apps. I don't know if we're going to get a new Nexus device. It's kind of up in the air. I think the big deal is going to be Android Wear. And G Watches are allegedly going to be handed out. Moto 360 on hand somewhere, demoed potentially. Should be interesting. Should be a good time. And everything's streamed live these days, so if you're not going to I/O, don't even worry about it. You can just watch everything as it happens. So, yeah, I/O. Should be a fun time. And again, Lookout Party. If you guys want to hang out, we'll be at Lookout Party. The only other thing sort of related to that is G-Watch specs were outed this week, and they don't show a ton of new stuff, but 1.65-inch LCD display, 4 gig of storage, 400 milliamp hour battery that takes 2 hours to charge, and has standby time of 36 hours. So if you're actually using it, take a third of that maybe, cut it in half, so day and a half, day of use. So it's one of those devices, again, you're going to have to charge every single day. So
crap. Maybe
if it's awesome enough, that will be fine. Yeah, I mean, you have to assume if the G-Watch is doing that, I would guess the Moto 360 is the same. Although the Moto X had kind of a small battery, and Motorola managed to get some good battery life out of it, so maybe they'll work some magic in the Moto 360. But if you guys had to, so say like the Moto 360 comes out and it gets day and a half battery life, does that make you not want it, or are you willing to charge it all the time? I guess what I'm trying to get at is this whole smartwatch thing. We haven't seen any that have, like a week-long battery life except like Pebble. But these ones that have full touchscreens, color touchscreens, and all this stuff, is that like a deal breaker? That something that you have to charge every day, just like your phone, or are you willing to get used to that?
Yeah, kind of. That is a deal breaker, and I think that's one thing that people like about the Pebble, or some of those other smartwatches. Or like a fuel band. For example, you don't have to plug it in every day. You can just throw it on when you need it, and then charge it on the weekends or something like that. I think that's really important, actually. So that might be a deal breaker for me. Although if it looks like a Moto 360, I may not care. But even though I don't know what it does, but
it also depends on how hard it is to charge. Like if you have to,
if I need a separate adapter, yeah.
Yeah, if you have to like flip it over and then open up like one of those little protector panels and then plug it in, if you can just like drop it down, plug it in less than half of a second, I wouldn't care that much. Just throw it on my nightstand and go to bed. I mean, it would get annoying, but I think I could get used to it, especially coming from the Fitbit, which runs for easily like 7 days.
Yep.
But I don't know if it would be a deal breaker for me, but that's my personal opinion.
I guess I'll just have to get used to it because I want one. I guess we'll see if I can get used to it. I guess I charge my phone every day.
My problem
I've
is
seen a lot of people in the comments say that, like, you charge your phone every day, just charge a watch too.
Yeah, why should I have to?
I know, it sucks. A watch should not be a worry. I don't know. But if
I
you
guess-
wear your watch to bed, you can't do that apparently.
I heard there's like that exclusive report going around that every I/O attendee is going to get a G Watch. And I gotta tell you, I am not very excited about that. I don't want a G Watch. I want a Moto 360. Don't skimp out on me. Like, I want the 360. I want
It's
the one that
apparently
looks
the
good.
reference device, that's why.
Yeah, I understand why it would be the G Watch, but again, I'm not happy.
Yeah, I think we would all much rather have them than the 360. Yeah.
No, don't give me a free G Watch.
I know, I hate to be that guy, but
If I give it back, can I put that money towards a Moto 360?
Yeah, really. Just give me the cash value. I can put this down on a 360. Yeah.
Like, can I take like a gift card instead? That'd be fun.
A gift card.
But yeah.
So we'll see. 2 weeks away, so a bunch of stuff will probably come out between now and then of stuff we might see at I/O, or maybe Google will drop some more hints or something like that, but definitely Android Wear everywhere. And by the way, I think I mentioned this on last week's show too, but they still haven't added any Google Plus sessions, so
that's dead.
even though they said stay tuned. So we'll see. All right, the big news of the day was Galaxy Note 4 specs, or was this yesterday? No,
It was yesterday.
That's right. Today was Feedly dying and then TweetDeck dying.
The internet going down.
Internet going down.
And it was so funny because yesterday, just to kind of tie this all together, yesterday I saw an article from The Verge, and they talked about what to do in the event of like an internet blackout or something like that. Like, what would you do? Would you be prepared? And I was like, that's never going to happen. And then today it started happening.
Today it started happening.
Like, ah! Like they had inside sources, I'm sure of this. So, yeah.
Maybe The Verge was
Maybe The Verge is DDoSing Feedly right now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
looking at their own story.
Fanboys go!
Feedly, which I just refreshed, and it's still not working, even though they told everyone it is working.
Well,
They
you
said,
have-
they said it's supposed to be back, but my app doesn't work, and the web version still doesn't work.
It's not up yet. Not for me, anyways.
No,
So,
it's not.
All day long. It's kind of
Yeah, anyways, that happened. And yes, you're right. It almost was like an internet apocalypse. All right.
For
Galaxy Note.
journalists, I guess. Only. Like,
Yeah. Not that we struggled to flip over to use the regular Twitter like web interface rather than just tweet.
no,
it's
that's
rough.
terrible.
Navigating to each individual homepage of sites is the worst.
That sucks too.
Yeah, it's not like there isn't an
Although make sure you
alternative
guys
for
are
you to
navigating
use that.
Android life over and over and over again.
Feedly's it, Ron.
Dig.
Dig? Never heard of it.
You're a liar. It doesn't refresh as fast as Feedly, but if you're in a pinch, it'll get you your feeds.
I miss
That's why I
Google.
couldn't use it actually, is because it didn't
It's not as
populate with news stories as fast, so I couldn't use it. But they have a good app and stuff. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, I like it a lot.
I miss Google Reader.
I do too, actually.
RP.
As bad as it was just
Never
brilliant.
forget.
Pour one out.
Okay, Galaxy Note 4. I swear this happened yesterday.
You did.
Spec potential leak from Sam Mobile. Sam Mobile, who has kind of been on a roll this week with he had like an S5 Mini photo shoot and a Tab S photo shoot, and now Galaxy Note 4 and all kinds of stuff. So, Tim, do you want to talk about Galaxy Note 4 and what the latest rumor is?
Yeah, sure, of course. Galaxy Note devices are known for being some of the bigger, quote-unquote, phablet devices, in the Android world. Excuse my language. But according to Sam Mobile and sources of theirs, the device is going to come packed with a Snapdragon 805 processor, which everyone was hoping would come in the G3, but it did not. And this is the US variant we're talking about. They had model numbers and listings for pretty much all variants of the Note 4. But for the US, which will come to AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, and Verizon, it was a Snapdragon 805 processor, a Sony-made 16-megapixel rear-facing camera with OIS, optical image stabilization, the same 2-megapixel front-facing camera, which is found on the Galaxy S5 somewhere, and then it has a QHD display, much like the G3, 2560 by 1440. However, they did not state how large the display was. So I think last year's model was 5.6 inch, 5.7 inch. I'm sure someone will correct me. But this one's supposed to be QHD. Last year's was FHD, Full HD, 1080p. So things are moving forward. Other than that, there was no other specs known. We don't know how much RAM. We don't know how big the battery is. Again, we don't know how big the display is. And the design for me is what threw me off of last year's model completely. I never touched the device because I just thought it was kind of ugly.
Because it got all squared off and just looked.
Yeah, it got squared off. It got chrome on plating on the side like a 1950s Cadillac. I was like, come on, this ain't my daddy's phone. Like, I want something super modern.
And they threw on that faux notebook plastic stitched thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not
again
for my daddy. And yeah, that's not something I was digging. So yeah, I'm like an unofficial member of PETA. So anything that has to do with leather, all that stuff, I'm just not for it.
Even if it's faux, even if it's plastic.
Yeah, protect the animals.
All right, so that was interesting though. Note 4 stuff. That's the first Note 4 stuff we've really had, right? I don't think we've had much else.
Yeah.
People got excited. I mean, people got excited yesterday.
The cult going on without Tim's leadership.
240 plus comments just on Note 4 specs.
Oh man. Yeah, well, even Marquez Brownlee, he took to YouTube. He was like, Note 4 hype B.
That's right.
And he started talking about making videos of the Note 4. I think the Note 4 might be his favorite phone. The Note line are his favorite phones. So
yeah.
It's good to see people getting hyped up for the Note 4 because I'm sure, Samsung likes to push the bar. There is no doubt. On the Galaxy S5, they stuttered a little bit. So I'm really hoping they kind of get back to their ways of pushing it forward, or innovating. I'll just call it innovating. I know it's not actually innovating, but they're bringing new stuff to the table, which is what LG did this year. So here's to Samsung. Let's see if they can get back to their old ways and start dominating again.
I think they're still dominating.
Yeah, but
What we really need is stitching on the front of the device. I think we can all agree.
I want a hand-stitched, plastic-stitched Verizon logo right on the front.
That would be great. I want an embroidered Verizon logo.
Custom embroidered.
As long as it's faux plastic stitching for that Verizon logo, then it would be awesome.
Too funny.
I want the Verizon logo stitched into the home button.
Just branded in there.
Don't give them ideas, man.
They're taking these ideas in right now. I'm sure Lowell McAdam watches just like Dennis Woodside did.
Oh, he loves us.
He does. I'm sure.
We drink 4G teenies all the time.
4G.
We actually have had 4G teenies.
But yeah,
as embarrassing as that sounds.
They were really tasty. I think
I actually
too many.
Up, but
were they light on the teeny?
Yeah.
You and Pickles told me they were wonderful.
They were wonderful. Oh, Pickles.
All right. We're running a bunch of polls this week because we just like to ask you guys things about once a year to see kind of where numbers fall. So the first thing we asked this week was well, not the first thing, but one of them was, do you own an Android tablet? And last year, I believe it was like 75% of people said yes, we do. 24% said no, 25%. And we asked today, I think, actually. And same thing. 76% said yes, 24% said no. So
nothing changed.
Yeah, nothing has changed. We all own some sort of Android tablet. Ron, do you still own an Android tablet? Have you ever owned an Android tablet?
No.
Okay.
Really?
So 75% of us own Android tablets. 25% doesn't.
Not only do I own my Nexus 7, but I'm still rocking the
Zoom.
Wow.
new
That thing's a tank.
4.4. You know.
I found mine in the closet behind me yesterday. I was digging in there for something, and there was a Zoom. It has like this red jelly case on it. It was really terrible.
I think that's the point, right? Is that you
Oh,
weren't
that was
looking for that, yet there it was.
There it was.
You had one of the 4G Zooms, didn't you? You went through that whole, we have to send it in and get it.
Yes, I did send it in.
Oh, so you can get the...
I was one of the last to do it because they let you. I think they let you do it for free or something.
Yeah.
Right.
And I put it off until the very last minute. And I actually wrote on mine with a Sharpie because I didn't think I would get my exact one back. Like there was rumors that they were just sending people random Zooms, so I wrote on it, and I did get the same one back. So
That's cool. What'd you write on it?
random note. I can't remember actually. I could pull it out,
Probably
but
just
really
the
don't.
Team. Kitty.
Yeah, I mean it was something. It was like initials or something. I don't know.
Oh, cool.
Anyways, yeah. All right, so lots of people own Android tablets, although the numbers didn't change. We also asked if, after all this time, you're still interested in Google Glass. And 41% say no. I can't remember. What were the numbers last year, Tim? Do you remember?
Well, the majority of people were more interested in seeing what developers could do with it. That was the top rated, or top picked, chosen.
That's right. So 32% last year said, yeah, we're interested. 42% said, I'm just interested to see what developers can do. And then 26% said no. So this year, 41% just said no, not interested at all anymore. 31% yes, and 28% are hoping developers can do something. So definitely a drop there. I mean, you and I have played with Google Glass enough, and even after all the updates that they seem to pump out now more than ever, it still just doesn't do it for me at all. We've actually sort of stopped talking about it on the website. I don't know if you guys have noticed. We're no longer writing up every single Google Glass update.
Yeah, we're not glasslife.com anymore.
No, we're not. All right, the other thing we asked, and we talked about this, I think, a couple weeks ago, was NFC, and if we thought it was just a giant bust of a technology that no one uses. So we asked everyone, and if you use NFC, and 62% said no. 35% said yes, and somehow 3% of people don't have phones with NFC.
Nearly 400 people out of 12,000.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy, actually.
I wonder what they have.
Something on Cricket Wireless or something, Metro PCS. Those are the only phones that are coming out, I think, that still don't have NFC lit on them.
Or iPhones.
Correct. Oh, that could be 400 iPhone owners right there. It's just
Probably
Ron
is.
over and over.
Ron just like, come on, no.
Yeah, and no, that was not a dig at Cricket Wireless, Eric. I was just saying those are the phones that are coming out on those carriers do not have NFC.
Shots fired at Cricket
Shots
Wireless.
fired at Cricket Wireless. Oh my god.
Going down, Cricket.
I could take the webcam out of the laptop and show you. I have a Motorola Skip sticker on the corner of this desk right here that I use like probably 15, 20 times a day.
What's it for?
Unlock my phone. If I'm sitting here and active notification lights up, I just hover it over the.
You just slide it over there?
Use a password, so I just slide it on the NFC dot.
Oh. I think you're the only person on earth that uses this. I forgot what the Skip was. Do you have it on your belt buckle too?
No, I've stopped using that, but you sent me that Skip package, so I put them to use.
Good man.
So you were definitely a yes.
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
One of the 35%. So yeah, not a lot of people using NFC still. to this day. I'll tell you right now, I don't think I use it more than once every few months or something. I think I talked about the other show that I use it to buy Max passes in Portland, and that's kind of it. I use Google Wallet for that. So
if we all purchased the Moto Stream, we could use NFC a lot more. Come on, guys.
Oh yeah, I have a couple of those. I'll write those up someday. The old Moto Stream.
Yep.
Probably give one away or something too.
Sure.
That thing, yeah. Woo. All right, you guys want to do some Q&A?
On it. Oh, I will take it off your hands. I'm telling you.
Look, the Moto Stream is fine. It
Listen.
It's not. It's just not the Nexus Q. Yeah, I have it hooked up to that.
It's not a bad thing.
Speaker over there. Well, I don't know. I haven't decided that if it's a bad thing or not. It works as advertised. It's just silly because they talk about like heist mode and all this stuff with it, and there's no app. It uses Bluetooth, and then you can connect 5 people at once, and so somebody could just be really obnoxious and be connected with you and just keep hitting play on a new song every time you play one. Like that's heist mode apparently. It's the silliest thing you've ever heard. So.
I guess if you know your neighbor has one, that could be fun.
Yeah, 300 feet away, you could just be across the street.
Well, you gotta go in and NFC pair it first, and then you can.
Yeah. So you wait till I'm in the shower or something, sneak in. Pair. Play.
Heist.
I mean, that's a good long troll. You wait till it's right till I fall asleep, and then
just play Rick Astley at all hours of the day. Every time.
300-foot troll. Here we go. All right, we're in Q&A now, by the way. So,
segue has been announced.
Tim, how's sunlight in G3? I mean, how's the G3 in sunlight?
So let me try and show you guys here. Let me here. All right, so
turn the sun on.
Yeah, when you pull down the bar, you got right here your little sundial. This thing gets gets really bright. And it gets so bright that if you leave it on for too long, the phone will automatically turn itself down because it's going to like overheat or something. It's like, no. You can't have it that bright for that long. So it automatically turns it down. But in the sunlight, it's great. Great panel. Looks great. I can even rock my Ray-Bans at night and still be able to like see the display. Or I don't even know where I'm going with that. Yeah.
Should I wear my Ray-Bans in the club on full brightness?
But like, say for example, so I walk my dogs all the time. I wear my sunglasses, and it's been really bright here in the Portland, Oregon area. And so I'll be rocking
at night.
Yeah, especially at night. So I'm rocking my shades, and I'm walking around, and I just turn up the brightness, and I can see everything just fine. And that's where that one-handed use kind of comes into play too. Like I can totally grip this phone just fine with one hand and use it and reach my corners and all that. G3 is legit. The only other phone that's comparable to the G3 in sunlight is the One M8, which also has an LCD display. The AMOLEDs, they get bright, they're okay, but it doesn't compare to the G3 or the M8. So yeah, if you're worried about the sunlight and your G3, don't worry about it. It'll be just fine.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, totally.
That question was from Tom, by the way.
Thank you, Tom.
Oh, here we go. This is fitting. From John. I need a second opinion. Is the iPhone 5S the best smartphone to buy?
Maybe.
This is my next. Oh, yeah.
Let's be honest. It is. No, we're not going to discuss it. All right.
I mean, we don't. I don't want to. There's not a lot of questions in here.
No.
Somebody wants to know if Ron's wearing Google Glass. I don't think so. Unless
I'm gonna take a picture.
Or do the hard thing. I'm gonna take a picture of this.
Somebody wants to know, is Feedly back? Apparently it is. I just don't know how to work it. Durant versus LeBron, sorry. I combined that. It was like Durant. I just combined them as one player. All right, there's no questions in here.
Man, you guys suck.
Durant, of course. I'll answer your question, but Durant all the way. The servant. Give it up for him. The MVP. I love Durant, dude. I like his style. he's got this flow on the court. You know, LeBron's all muscle, and he just pushes his way around on the court. Where Durant, he's not as muscular. He's a little bit more lean, so he has to kind of be a little bit more. He's like Bruce Lee. You know, he's like, be like water. You know, and that's what he is. He's like water on the court. Because there's nothing I can say like a turnaround jumper. There's nothing that can stop it. And he makes it. Like, it's ridiculous. The guy he's crazy.
I'll take titles every day.
Ooh.
Give me titles.
Hey.
Durant's awesome.
That's stupid.
One of a kind talent.
If you would surround Durant with a better team, you give Durant Dwayne Wade or Bosh or someone like that. Someone besides Russell Westbrook, who's a complete ball hog, jacks up 50 shots, only makes 30%. You know, he needs a better team. I'm sorry, like Fisher's kind of getting on the old side. The guy can ball.
He's now the coach of the Knicks. Yeah.
So he needs help.
He's really that old. Yeah. All right, I closed the Q&A.
Oh, all right.
There was no questions.
Bye, everybody.
About Tim's jank in the bed, I think, made it in
there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know it, Jane. So.
You don't know it, Jane, or you don't remember it?
Maybe both.
You're not really paid attention to E3 as it happening. Like usually that's like a big deal for me. It's been I/O week, you know, for me, but in the past couple of years. And it wasn't this year. I was just kind of.
All right. So, favorite thing you saw from E3 this week? I mean, I watched a little bit of it, but.
I don't know. There wasn't really. I mean, there were some cool games. The Rainbow Six game looked really. I've always been a huge Rainbow Six fan. They announced Rainbow Six Patriots like 3 years ago, and then they just went silent. Apparently, the game was not going as intended. And they scrapped it, and now they're coming back with this new one. They're coming out with a new Battlefield, which I'm a huge Battlefield fan, but it's like cops and robbers now. It's going to be like Payday kind of, where you're stealing, and one people are the, thieves, and the other people are the I don't know.
You talking about Hardline?
That'll go.
You talking about Hardline?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Your mic's kind of cutting in for me.
Sorry.
Yeah, Battlefield Hardline. I think it's coming out in October. I think I'm actually kind of excited about that. You know, it's something different. You know, on the contrary to what Activision thinks that Call of Duty fans want, we don't want to keep going into the future.
I saw that and I was like, "Are you serious right now?"
Yeah, I want to kick it old school.
Right out of Halo.
Yeah, I want World War II. I want something. I want a modern take on the World War II stuff. I think that would be sweet. Just go back to the old school. Less is more. Stop giving us boosting moon boots and crap like that.
Now, wait, is this one coming out? Isn't that going to have the Kevin Spacey character in it? Wasn't that what they teased?
The Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, I just started watching House of Cards this past couple of days.
Yeah.
Now I might be a little more interested in it.
Kevin Spacey. He was great.
I saw one week was people just all the nerds lubing up over Zelda.
Yeah.
And then I wondered why, because none of them own a Wii U or whatever the hell that thing's called.
Everybody was waiting until this E3 to see if Nintendo was going to give them a reason to buy the Wii U. And I saw a lot of people were like, yeah, I'll finally support this company that I'm a fan of.
Well, and all I saw was this really terrible teaser that was the worst graphics I've seen on anything since 4 years ago. I don't even know what. And then I think Link wearing jeans or something, or whoever it was. I don't even know. It looked terrible, and everyone was so excited. Am I missing something there?
No, Link in jeans is what everybody's excited about.
Hope he's wearing glasses too, big thick ones. He's got his hair parted right here.
Wow.
The one game I'm a wild card in my book is Sunset Overdrive, I think it's called. Just this
the zombie apocalypse one or whatever.
Yeah, just crazy.
It doesn't look good.
I think it looks interesting.
The game that really has my attention is No Man's Sky, which is kind of like a Starfighter one where you're going from on the planet to outer space, back and forth. That game looks so sick. Like that would, if that's
It's got
PS4,
potential.
yeah, if that's PS4 exclusive, I would have to buy a PS4 just for that game. I think just to try it out. It looks really cool.
If it plays like how that trailer shows, I will be very impressed. But
Me too.
that would take so much work.
Well,
to go
that's
around to
what
have
they're
that
doing.
and just go up and then back down.
Yeah.
If they can pull it off, I'd be immensely impressed. But I'm
I'd
highly
be more the graphics were weird on it. That was like
yeah, they were.
They were weird, but they were cool, right? Like they were kind
the
of.
color palette was weird, and it just felt like it wasn't like I didn't like that it was all yellow. Like that bothered me. And then like the dinosaurs or animals, whatever you want to call them, like they didn't seem as well detailed as they should have been on that kind of hardware.
Well, it was very Avatar-ish, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a different world completely. It's not, you know. So
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
I mean that's the thing that I've disliked about more recent Halos. Is like the color palette is really bright and saturated, and that's hard on the eyes when you're trying to play through it all in one night.
Those things can change. That's my main concern with Crysis. Whenever I play those games, everything is just so
Crysis
oversaturated
is
for
like
me.
that, yeah.
I can barely take in what I'm trying to kill. Everything's blending into one another or some crap. It's bleeding, basically. Everything's bleeding.
Yep.
And so it's hard to see what I'm shooting at. So I think that's why Call of Duty is always so gray and monotone. That way everything kind of stands a more contrast. But yeah, either way, No Man's Sky and 60 frames per second Halo 2. I mean, that's legit.
Yeah, I was going to talk
I'm
about
really
it,
excited about that.
whether or not, and then Tom requested it. I don't know what it is. When I hear that Halo song, like it's something like it was,
inside you just kind of
Yeah.
builds
I'm
up.
not even. Yeah, I'm not joking. Like I just get that feeling back when I first played Halo 1 and Halo 2 for the first time.
Well,
It's
and I was
because
bummed too. 'Cause
Steve Vai does the guitar work. That's why, and he's one of the greatest guitar players of all time. So he's taught by Joe Satriani, and those are both Bay Area guys. That's exactly why. I don't think Kellen cares. I don't think Kellen cares.
I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about Arkham Knight, although this costume looks terrible.
Is this star Ben Affleck?
Voice of Ben Affleck.
It might actually convince me to get an Xbox One. They might have given, if the games that were announced come out and look how they did, live up to the hype, I will probably be getting an Xbox One.
Okay, real quick, and then we should probably change subjects, but I hate it whenever they have these conferences and stuff, they bring someone up to play the game, like say, for example, Assassin's Creed or the Call of Duty or whatever. They always have, like, the developer from the team who's, like, the worst at first-person shooters or stuff, and he's, like, walking through the level, or when you should be running. Like, the Assassin's Creed demo sucked, because I felt like the guy playing had no idea what he was doing at all. And I was like, well, this sucks. So they could do a lot better, I think, with getting who they get to play the games for the people. So
Yeah, so I missed the Assassin's Creed. When is it taking place, and what's the?
It's taking place in France during the Reign
the
of Terror.
Revolution. It's like Les Miserables.
So they went back to that. Okay.
Yeah.
They're catching a lot of flack because apparently it's well known that like the number one assassin in that era was like a female, and you play this character that looks exactly the same as the other games. And one of the developers came out today and he was like, well, if we wanted to make a female character, it would have been like an extra day or two of work.
Oh.
And
I'd be pretty excited about playing a female assassin.
I thought
she'll probably be a DLC.
Historically accurate, like that would
Well, okay, sure, but nobody's looking. Well, that is one nice thing though, like about those games is like, especially like the architecture and things like that. It is.
Yeah, I mean,
very accurate.
Yeah, it does look nice.
So they're currently getting reamed by the internet.
Yeah. Well, hey, do the code. Like, if they put a lady assassin in there, like that would be sweet.
Who knows? We'll see. We'll see if they.
Then I'd buy an Xbox One and a new TV. I'll throw down. No, I won't do that.
All right, enough E3.
Thank you, Kellen.
Oh, are you guys done?
Yeah.
I know you're working over there.
Yeah, I'm just
Galaxy Mega.
Galaxy Mega got Kit Kat right now. G2 little update.
Who cares?
All in AT&T. All right, let's talk apps and stuff, and then we'll get out of here. Yeah, so SwiftKey 5.0 or SwiftKey 5, whatever we're calling it, was released today. It's now free for everyone, and they also introduced themes and some other stuff. and I actually downloaded it again. I haven't been using it. I've sort of stuck to the Google keyboard for a long time. Really like it, but switched back to SwiftKey today to give it a shot because the new themes, some of them are actually really hot, and so that's out. So if you haven't ever tried SwiftKey because you didn't want to pay the $4 or whatever it was, you should probably go try it now. It's free, and you can get themes, and it's kind of awesome.
I was in the same boat. I kind of switched back to Google Keyboard for a while, and then I was like, all right, I'll go back to SwiftKey.
What makes SwiftKey better than Google Keyboard, though? Because that's the first thing I download whenever I get a new phone is Google Keyboard. Like, what makes SwiftKey better than Google Keyboard?
I find that their thumb detection for me is a lot better, a lot more accurate than the Google Keyboard, and that may just be because I have larger thumbs, and it's a problem for me. But I find
so you're not like for like regular, like for touch typing or for swiping?
For touch typing, I don't swipe.
You don't swipe? Then I can't even take your opinion on anything. Hey, Kellen, do you have anything to say about SwiftKey?
Well, I've only been back on it for all of like 2-3 hours, and I haven't done any typing. I mean, a little bit, but it seems nice. I mean, just in a little bit. I would say one of the advantages is the cloud sort of saving. So for someone like you, Tim, that goes between a bunch of devices, it would save all of your like autocorrects and all that stuff it learns. So it'd probably be good for you. I like the themes now because they look a lot nicer. Just typing on it today, it seemed like without having to learn anything from me, it seemed like it was already predicting things that I type really well. And I'm like Eric, I don't swipe a lot. I'm kind of a tapper, yeah. I mean, I kind of do a mix of stuff, so I do swipe a little bit of stuff in there. But I don't know. It seems fine. Like I'm not annoyed by it at all in the couple hours I've used it. So
the reason I switched off of SwiftKey is because when my phone's battery gets low and I pull up SwiftKey, it seems to like hang up the phone a lot. So I'll get back to you guys and tell you if that's a problem with this one, but I'm hoping that it's not, because if that's not a problem, then I would be sticking with SwiftKey all the time.
SwiftKeys.
Super weird. Are you guys faster touch typing instead of swiping? Like, what's the deal?
I've just never found swiping to be all that accurate, or I just suck at it. I mean, that could be.
Maybe you just suck at it.
Maybe I just suck at it. And like I said, I use a combination. So there's like some words I'll do a quick swipe. Otherwise, I maybe type in short enough words that I can use the predictions a lot, and I don't need to swipe that much and stuff. I don't know. I do use a combination of it, but I would say majority I just tap away.
Yeah, I'm definitely faster tapping, but the Google keyboard. That's why, because I use it all the time. It is. So, but the Google keyboard isn't good for that. I don't think. I agree with Eric on that. So when I'm on the Moto X, I swipe. So even though it is inaccurate though, and then I have to go back and fix things, and
I swipe like a madman.
Yeah. So I don't know. Giving it a shot though. Giving it a new run. Old SwiftKey. So again, it's free now. So go try it if you didn't want to pay for it before. Now you can try it out.
Totes.
Yep. Other apps, Ron? You got a couple?
Yeah, I got a couple new games. So the first one's called Rival Knights, and basically it's a jousting game. And so there's different levels and there's different tournaments and things like that. Basically, like the actual gameplay, the way that it works is you're on your horse and you have to it counts down from 3, and then you gotta tap right away to get the boost, just like in Mario Kart. And then you tap at the right time to speed up your horse, and then once you get close up, everything slows down, and you aim with your lance to try and hit the other person. And then, depending on 3 factors, what your defense is, basically what kind of armor you're wearing, how accurate you are with the lance, and how fast your horse got, determines if you win the battle or not. So it's a nice, fun game. It has in-app purchases, so you can get, basically you're limited to 6 tokens to play, and then refresh over time. And then same thing with the tournaments; those are separate tokens. But I like it; it's a lot of fun. So like I said, it's free and there's in-app purchases, but you definitely don't need them. So that's the first one, and then the second one is it's called Skyforce. And for whatever reason on the App Store, it's just called Skyforce, but on the Google Play Store, it's called Skyforce 2014. So I don't know why, but It's a remake of an old game, so they've updated like all the graphics and everything else like that. So basically, you're just a little ship, and it's overhead view, and you're shooting at ships as they come by. Again, in-app purchases for that. What's that?
I said this game looks sweet and stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've been playing that a lot. So it's just like an old arcade game where it's the overhead view and you're shooting at ships. But the graphics are great. And there's in-app purchases for upgrades, which I've definitely used. So, but again, you don't need them. But if you want to like shoot missiles a lot earlier and have giant lasers like the G3, then you should buy those upgrades. So that's it for me.
10 years ago, IGN gave Skyforce a 9.5 out of 10. At least that's what their description says on the Google Play.
That's crazy.
Really liked that.
Now it's a mobile game.
I've ever heard like that I can recite by name as Ikaruga. I've heard that was just a really fun game. Really hard, though.
Ikaruga.
Tim, you got an app you want to talk about?
I feel like I've talked about this, but I was gone last week, so I can't necessarily remember when this app was even launched now. But I just wanted to talk about Secret one more time. I think we have talked about Secret.
I think you talked about it like 2 weeks ago.
That makes sense. Well, let's talk about it again, shall we?
So wait, so this means you're using it then? Because then you were kind of like, this app's stupid. I think you said like, this app's stupid.
I uninstalled it after 5 minutes. I wanted to write it up, and then I just uninstalled it because I was like, well, this is stupid. But then I reinstalled it, found out that more of my friends had gotten it.
All your iPhone friends have it, yeah.
Yep, all my iPhone friends have it. A few of my Android buddies got it now. I mean, although I can't necessarily tell because everything's a secret and I don't know who the hell's posted anything. But so Secret, people can post. They post secrets, and they can include photos with their secrets.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes things can get a little not NSW. Well, not safe for work, NSFW, and but that's cool. I'm a grown man; I can handle it. And if you feel like you have secrets that you want to share with the world, and you have friends, and you want people to like your secrets and share your secrets with the world, then you could get on Secret, and there's a lot of funny stuff on there. And sometimes it's a game; you're kind of trying to guess who that person is or whatever, and it's cool. I mean, I haven't really come across anything too crazy in terms of secrets. Like there was that one secret that actually was very popular about I think it was Nike letting go their hardware division. So I haven't seen anything like that so far. It's still a lot about politics, Silicon Valley. I'm an entrepreneur, blah, 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 silly stuff like that. My friends post really dumb things, but it's cool. I've shared a couple of things on there, and what's nice is that no one will ever know it's me. So it's a cool app. So if you got nothing better to do, check out Secret.
That's a great way to
you got nothing better
sum it up, actually.
That should be their tag. If you have nothing better to do, check out our app.
Check out Secret.
Like nothing better to do.
I installed it.
You uninstalled it? Yeah, I don't think this is a very Ron Afringa app. Like, I'll be honest, this is not your cup of tea.
I installed it the day it came out, and then it told me I had to invite 5 friends, and I didn't want to spam 5 friends with the invite to that, and so I just said, screw this, and so I've never used it.
Yeah, I gave it a week or so, after waiting for more people to join, and now I have like 70 friends on there apparently from what it says. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. There's a lot of interesting conversations taking place, all of which are not safe to talk about on the Droid Life Show.
Pretty much.
Sure.
But I'm cool with it. Like I said, I'm cool.
Like you said, if you have nothing better to do.
Yeah, if you have nothing better to do, and you don't have a significant other who goes through your phone, download Secret.
Yeah, that would be bad too.
Yeah.
Stay away.
Significant other should not go through your phone ever.
Well,
Ever.
People would argue that.
Fired.
I mean, you should have nothing to hide anyway, right?
Exactly, that's what they say. Yeah, I said, well, that's why I wrote up that
Still.
guest mode part on the G3, so people could just say, use your guest mode or whatever. That way they can't see your OkCupid and your Secret and your Tinder and all your crap.
Your folder of, like, anonymous
folder of
dating apps, yeah. I don't know what that is, honey.
Someone hacked this damn Android phone got hacked.
Malware. There's so much malware. I don't know how this Tinder malware got on here. Oh boy.
Oh,
That is good.
Just blame malware. We
Yeah.
always have that excuse. Just whip the old malware card out when you got an Android phone. Ah, it must be some malware.
99% of Android phones infected already.
Apparently.
So
Infected with
That's
jank.
cool or something.
Yeah.
All right.
cool.
Anything else you guys want to toss out last minute before we wrap up?
I'll be in NYC tomorrow for Samsung's event.
Yes, NYC tomorrow. Samsung tablets probably. We're pretty sure. No.
We're thinking tablet or tablets.
We'll see.
Yeah, who knows?
It's an evening event, right?
An evening event. I believe it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
So, there will be a live stream. So,
There will be a live
if
stream.
anyone wants to attend via the interwebs, please feel free to do that. If you spot me, tweet at me, and I'll give you a internet high five.
but not a real life one.
Nope.
that costs money. If you want to see Tim in real life, that'll cost you some money.
No, you can. It's completely free. If you win a Lookout IO party, which we are giving away, we're giving away tickets. Come meet me. I won't charge you a dime. I'll even give you a hug.
But only there, not in New York City. Stay away from me in New York City.
Yeah.
Don't be a
touch Tim in
creeper.
New York
Like,
City.
don't just come up to me on the street and be like, "Rah," let me give you a hug.
Like, can they just follow you back to your room?
No, that's not cool either, dude. Security. So yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for joining us again, everyone. This was episode 62, getting up there. We'll be back potentially next week. More than likely next week. Actually, yeah, on next Wednesday we got Amazon event and T-Mobile events going on, so probably lots to talk about. So yeah, see you guys next week.
Deuces.
Peace.